Thank you very much, Mr. Tyre, and I'll start with you. It's great to see you here in this room again, and I'm glad to see you on the other side of the table. We look forward to your service with Secretary Bessent. I don't really have a question for you, it's really a comment, and that is I know from working with you in the past how committed you are to the agenda that we are seeking to implement in the Trump administration, and that in particular Secretary Bessent is pursuing. And I just wanted to let you know I look forward to this continued opportunity to work with you.
Thank you, Chairman Crapo. I look forward to working with you and all the members of the committee.
Thank you. And Mr. Schweitzer, I'll come back over to you. Intellectual property protection is a critical issue. The U.S. Trade Representative plays a key role in protecting those rights around the world. For example, USTR prepares the annual Special 301 report, which identifies a wide range of concerns that limit American innovation and investment. If confirmed, how are you going to use the tools at your disposal to address the challenges identified in the Special 301 report to ensure that rigorous enforcement of American intellectual property rights exists and fosters that innovation?
Thank you very much, Chairman Crapo, for that very important question. Intellectual property rights are a priority of of Ambassador Greer, of President Trump. It's been discussed several times. Every one of our trade agreements, it's first and foremost in our discussions. Issues like digital service taxes and others are issues that we're very concerned about. We intend to use every tool at our disposal, whether it be 301 or other tools at our disposal, working with commerce and with other elements of the U.S. government in order to ensure that U.S. intellectual property rights are protected, that U.S. property rights holders are protected. That would include things like trademarks and other items where you have counterfeit goods from certain countries, and you also have where U.S. intellectual property is stolen outright, or where countries have pressured the U.S. firms to provide access to their intellectual property. And we intend to use every tool at our disposal. I lived in China, I worked in China, I've worked on these issues literally most of my adult life. I've worked with tech companies, helping them understand how to protect their intellectual property rights in places like China. In many cases, that included developing strategies where they didn't actually import their technology into China, but they sold it through third parties. Also, I've worked with companies who actually had their intellectual property stolen. And one of the real issue sets we faced in this regard, particularly when it comes to China, Chairman, is that when the firms come to us and tell us the things that happen to them, they often tell us not to do anything about it. And this administration has decided that we're going to take on those coercive practices head on. We're not going to choose to prosecute one case or not prosecute one case on behalf of a specific firm. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the totality of the trade actions and intellectual property theft that takes place in any given country, and we're going to take a series of trade actions against the entire country, as opposed to sort of one-off attempts that have been attempted in previous administrations. And in my 20-plus years working in the government, particularly 3 times living and working in China, in almost every case, that one-off approach did not work. So we're using a systemic approach that uses every tool at our disposal to approach this from the ground up.
Well, thank you very much. And Mr. Stuart, you've learned firsthand that when a person steps forward to serve, that the political world we live in goes on the attack, and personal attacks are the weapon of the day. I'd like to give you an opportunity to respond to accusations that you have a conflict of interest with respect to your campaigns for the West Virginia State Senate and for Attorney General, respectively. And these are just brief, quick questions. In your campaigns for the State Senate and Attorney General in 2022 and 2024, did you fully comply with the West Virginia campaign finance law?
Thank you very much for the question, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to answer this. Yes, I did, and I've always done everything I can to comply with the law. When a question was raised by a member of the staff with respect to this subject, I think about a week ago, within 24 hours, I believe, give or take an hour, I made sure, because I take great pride in my background in terms of my ethics and the way I've complied with the law, I provided every single finance report from my Senate campaigns and from my campaign for Attorney General in the state of West Virginia to the Office of Government Ethics. It's important to me. I take great pride in this record. Over 30 years, almost 30 years as a professional. There's never been a whiff of controversy in terms of my character, my conduct, or my ethics. So I thank you very much for that question.
Well, thank you. I just wanted to be sure we got that on the record, and I appreciate it. My time's expired, so Mr. Sherrill, you got away without my question. We'll see what we could do moving forward. Senator